So for this reading, we have 4 piles to choose between. Pile 1 is Jade. Pile 2 is Lapis. Pile 3 is Amazonite. And Pile 4 is Tiger's Eye. So feel free to pause the video to take as long as you need to find the pile that seems to be drawing you in the most. Once you've made your selection, you'll find corresponding timestamps there in the description box or the comment section below. Find your corresponding timestamp and I will meet you at your reading. Hi Pile 1, welcome to your reading, everyone who chose yellow or jade. Now let's move these off to the side. Stick around to the end of your reading and we'll figure out what this final message seems to be about. And I want to go ahead and open your reading with some tarot. Okay. We'll start with tarot and then we'll go forward. I drew for every pile a whole bunch of cards. So we'll get to those cards though after we figure out what this main message seems to be about. How many is that? 3? That's a good start. Okay, Ace of Wands, a new beginning, okay? A lot of energy, a lot of passion, inspiration, drive, perhaps an interest in spirituality, taking your spiritual gifts to the next level. But I'm getting this bigger idea of something new because the mountains outside my windows have gotten a fresh coat of snow overnight, and April 1st is a new moon, and this is an April prediction. So I think that this is perhaps, very on the nose. So where is pile 1 going? Somewhere new, okay? Or at the very least, you're getting a burst of motivation or new energy, okay? 3 of Cups, so friendships, I think, are interesting. I see perhaps you guys going on a trip together, or this is the energy of maybe not going somewhere new alone, but seeing how you can bring people with you, okay? You also have the 9 of Pentacles, curious, okay? So I see a lot of financial support. I see the month of April so far just being extremely positive, and you know what? Oh, you guys got the blessing from the black cat. So, and again, hi, do you need to be let out? She just wants attention. So keep that in mind, pile 1, you have the blessing of the black cat, which is fertility and abundance. And I see a lot of that in your reading. Hi, honey. So let's draw a couple more cards. What I was saying before your blessing was that I'm getting that as a theme for April. For April, it just feels like really, really good energy. And I'm getting that picked up in your reading as well. Next card. 5 of Swords, curious, conflict. Okay, what in the world is this about? It seems to be about something new. And the 10 of Swords. Ooh, interesting to have those 2 elements come out together. Okay, so I am getting an interesting message that's coming through. Okay, we just called a lot of attention to April being a blessing and, relatively supportive. Okay, that means to me that friendships look good, your energy looks good, your mind seems to be the one curious element that we want to draw attention to. And for some reason, I was going to do this at the very end, but I'm going to reveal your card now because it is the card of drama. And I do sense that here, okay? It just felt like the right time to bring that out. But the message I want to bring to pile 1, when this card came out, I was like, I feel like that's going to scare some people. I feel like it's really going to turn some people off. But the message underlying was that this is actually a moment for you to be able to be turned on, for you to be awakened, for you to step into self-awareness. It's really important not to feel that twinge of anxiety in your gut when you saw these cards come out, especially if you're familiar with tarot. It's really important to look at them as neutral, okay? The message I'm trying to relay to you guys is the need to always feel balanced and justice and unbiased and just greet things, energy, events as they come to you. This might not come for all of you. This, I see a cutting away perhaps of a former self, but what I get stronger than that is this idea of needing to cut away perhaps a specific relationship in your life. And I'm so sorry, Pile 1, I do have to pause your video because I'm going to let this little kitty outside. Sorry about that, we're back. This idea of drama, okay? This idea of it coming to the surface and scaring you guys and spooking you guys, it's really not something I want you guys to do. I want whenever this event comes up, whenever this perhaps conversation, argument comes up, I really want you guys to be able to sit back, take a breath, and then just say, you can even just say this. Say, no, this is not going to affect me in that manner. I simply don't believe that. Okay, and this can happen in so many different ways, okay? I think that perhaps something that you fear could come to the surface, and if you instead treat that as a moment to say, no, I see you, I acknowledge that, but no, I don't want that in my reality. And you breathe in and breathe out, and you take the time to visualize a solution or the fact that it gets resolved. If you just feel that feeling of this being resolved, it will. And that is a moment that is really important for you guys, okay? Because I'm not seeing any major arcana cards. I'm sensing that this is not a remarkably eventful month for you, and that might not be interesting to some of you, but the reality is I would like that. There are some times where we don't have to have these massive moments, and I think that that's because it's a really grounded month. I'm just getting a really good energy for this month. But it's important that whenever some event comes up, what we want to be, really telling Pile 1 over and over and over again is it's a time to put you in the steering wheel. It's a time for you to recognize that you control your mind. You may not control the event, but you always control your opinion on it. You always control your emotional reaction because that event is a simple thing that happened and you could carry that on forever, and that weight is going to be heavy like sludge is what I'm seeing, okay? Now, again, very curious energy that I see here, okay? I see a lot of really supportive, and by supportive I always mean whatever you seem to be going after, because this is a general reading, I see that being supported, okay? If you're curious about love, we'll get to that in a second. If you're curious about going somewhere new, if you're curious about finances, business, career, all of these are very favorable cards to come out in all of those suits. The only interesting thing that I'm seeing is that I was about to comment on there not being any swords, and we have these swords here, right? This element of the mind, and your little card is drama. But what I'm getting is that message is you're supposed to be anticipating this. You're supposed to get this little magic insight, this little yellow and gold deck, this little bit of enlightenment is supposed to be able to help you step into the idea that you create your reality, okay? There was this time in my life, I don't know why I was holding this story back, where there was an annoying aspect to a living situation and it came to the surface and I was like, oh my God, this is what I've been fearing all along. And then in that moment, I had this no moment. I had this idea of no, excuse me, no. This very, very no. Ew, not happening. I'm not allowing that to happen. That's not what I desire. And I breathed in and breathed out, and I sent very, very positive energy to the situation, and it unfolded exactly how I desired, which nothing came to the surface, nothing came of it, and that seems to be an idea that we really want to tell you. I took your entire reading so far to talk about that. So let's move on and finish up this idea of drama. What do we seem to be talking about? Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive, and give your relationship a chance with work on your partnership. Okay, so two kinds of energy here, but I do actually see them as being linked. Okay, I'm getting the idea that whenever I get this your relationship, give your relationship a chance card, I see a relationship that's good. It's just your mind needs some clearing out. Okay, I think perhaps you have been together for a period of time and neither one of you is rekindling, neither one of you is putting spark, neither one of you is putting enough energy because you're expecting it to just happen, and it's not going to work that way, okay? Now, I also feel the need to defend myself right now because some of you are really interested in mushy-gushy readings, and that is not my opinion is people who do tarot readings like that really enable us to escape our emotions. They enable us to not take action. I think that's why I called so much attention to making sure that you can control your mind in the month of April, pile 1, okay? Give your relationship a chance. Tells me the relationship is good. The problem isn't there. The problem is with how you look at yourself, or how you expect your partner to do all the work for you, or how you expect it to fall into place as if it were magic or Disney. Okay, there's a little bit of a reality check coming there. Okay, now let's move forward. Your spirit animal is armadillo. Okay, this idea of armor. Okay, this idea of recoiling from the world. This idea of pulling in when things seem to get stuck or difficult, and we want to build your armor in a proactive way. We want you to build your armor by being able to awaken, to turn on. By turn on, I mean like literally see reality for the idea that you create it when situations come up, okay? Or when things in your life seem to be lacking love, glitter, seem to be leaving you not feeling fulfilled. Those are just cues for you to step into your power, to recognize that you need to make a perspective shift or you need to take some action. Armadillo, to me, it talks about family. It talks about a tough skin too, okay? When this armadillo wants to, it can roll into a ball and just reflect everything out and, be safe. It's the idea of an ostrich burying its head in the sand, and I'm really not trying to call out anyone here in pile 1. I'm speaking honestly and authentically, which will provide you the most accurate information. It's up to you to decide what you're going to do with this message, but I see the idea of escapism. I see the idea of pretending that nothing is happening and just being in a nice, comfortable world. Maybe this is illusion right here for some of us. For some of us, April does look great. And again, I know this reading isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I can only channel what is authentic. Let's move forward into your earth magic before we do your spiritual cards. So the first card is River with movement. Movement is required. And Dawn with new beginnings. Okay. I love to see this because, give me a second. I want to make sure this looks semi-decent. I'll put you guys there. No clue where the spiritual cards are going to go, but okay. River, movement is required, okay? And I think it's on an emotional level because water has cut this channel between the mountains, and we see water here. And water talks about psychic energy, psychic sensing, but also emotions, okay? And heavy emotions. Being able to control our emotions, okay? Because emotions are strong enough to create canyons, right? That's what I'm getting. And there's this idea of movement and new beginnings. So some of you, need to step out of this relationship for a time period in order to see yourself in a different light, in order to see yourself as someone who can take control of any situation that comes up. For others of you, there's a new beginning in love because you're treating this reading as an epiphany, and that's beautiful. Okay. I also love to see the new moon blessing the month of April and you having new beginnings. Okay. I think this is a critical month for you, and you will not be without friendships. You will not be without energy. You are supported to make this radical shift in a mindset is what I'm getting. Okay. Okay. Good. I knew what this card was, didn't know the other ones. I'm glad this came out because for a little bit here, I've been like, dang, we are harping a little bit on pile one, but here's reality coming. Align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change, okay? And I'm getting all these fractures as the swords, okay? And sometimes our intelligence can cut us, okay? We're very, very smart, but I also feel like as spiritual beings, we don't understand the complexity of our emotions, and we try to control our mind and perhaps escape situations by ignoring them. And by doing that, we injure ourselves. We never pluck the swords, we never pluck the thorns from ourselves, and thus they drain our life force. I'm glad to see that you guys are getting a burst of energy in order to deal with this, though. This is the only card in this deck that is not like the others. From an art standpoint, I'm an art major, forever artist. This does not look like any other cards. It's done in a very different design, and it's the odd man out, which makes perfect sense because it's asking you what is not aligned and what needs to change, and only pile one can answer that question. Okay, but it is calling attention, to this idea of the mind. Okay, your final card is Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? Yes, so this is work that could be done if you felt inclined to do it. And there is this idea of gentleness that needs to be applied as well, okay? Now, I am an air sign. I definitely identify as the King of Swords, so I'm going to present information to you in an unbiased manner because that creates the best channel for me to get information out. And that will sometimes provide information to whoever who is still holding on to this reading that might seem injurious, might seem prickly, might seem sharp, but again, it is my idea that creates the best channel so I can provide the most useful information so you can use these readings to actually change your life, okay? That being said, there's an idea of gentleness. How can you mother yourself? How, in order to be able to navigate these emotions and this energy of April, how can you make space and time in order to nurture your body and to feel safe and secure? Okay, I do get the idea of a root chakra that needs to be balanced, okay? And one way to do that is to acknowledge that you have food, water, and a roof over your head, and not everyone on this earth planet does. Okay, that's only a beginning. I think that pile one could donate, okay. You guys could spend some time volunteering, which could help ground your root chakra. But what I was saying was you could do some research in the month of April to figure out how you can ground yourself and how you can balance your root chakra, because that will help you conquer your fears and anxieties that are under the surface. So this is the end of your April prediction. I really hope you guys liked it. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can purchase one by following the link in my description box, or you can email me and we can set one up. If you've made it this far into the reading, please leave me a big thumbs up. It really helps support the channel, helps other people find these messages. And until next time, stay divine. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Everyone who chose the lapis or the orange card. I don't know why I said it like that. We will get to that little message, that tiny message at the end of your reading, but let's open up with some tarot. I also, just so you guys know, I have a whole bunch of, what are these called? Oracle cards that we will get to later on in your reading. But first, I want to start with some tarot. Okay. Ooh, okay. Okay, curious. Okay, so honestly, when I get this card, I will say for the majority of the time, I want to say, this is a caution against burnout. But what I'm seeing, because it's another message with this card, is more of a mountain. And it's like, you are so close. Like, this is a very different energy than pile one. You are so close to reaching your goal, okay? And it has required mammoth strength, okay? A lot of strength. And you are getting there, okay? I feel like pile two is just like really needed that confirmation, okay? This is a lesson though, because we have this major arcana card coming out. This is a lesson you really needed to integrate in order to be able to reach new highs later on in life, later on down the road, okay? So whatever project you've been putting a lot of creative energy in, spending a lot of long hours on, this is, I like it. And whenever I say I like it, it means that I don't see any sort of negativity attached to it, but I do sense that it has required a lot of strength. And I think that perhaps you guys have been, really reflecting on what it means to have inner strength and what it means and how it feels to go the distance. Oh, this is great. Okay, so I'm seeing this Ace of Wands here, okay? Energy, right? Deep within, okay? And in reverse, all that tells me is that this is under the surface and perhaps, in your subconscious. And what you don't realize, pile two, is that you have an unlimited energy source, okay? And I also think that in the month of April, this is going to reveal itself to you when you are able to climb to the top of this mountain, right? Pull this project all the way through to help this project reach its completion, okay? And once you get there and unlock this strength card, I do see deep within your creative well, new inspiration and potentially even life purpose, okay? I do look at this card as more spiritual I don't really know what that, inclination? That doesn't make sense grammatically. Anyways, what I'm getting is that it's like there's 10 wands here, and even then, like beyond that, once you reach the top and plant all those, there's still something within you, still something burning, okay? And I'm getting that this Ace of Wands is a blessed new beginning, or you should be utilizing this new moon that is happening on April 1st, this new beginning, to steer your life perhaps somewhere else for a little while, or continue to plant seeds once this current phase has reached completion, okay? Continue to water this and to always let your path be guided by your creative talents, drive, and willpower, because pile two is going somewhere with their lives, and I really like to see these cards so far, okay? We have a couple more to get through, but I really like to see you guys putting in the work, and usually, again, I as a victim of burnout myself and how I think it is just deeply ingrained in society, I promise I won't go on that tangent right now. As someone who's suffered from burnout, I'm not one to usually look at this card favorably, but what I'm getting actually is that you're almost there. Just keep going. I want to tell you that baby steps are cumulative. So as you reach this finish line and nearing fatigue and exhaustion, reach deep within you and just identify the next possible step. And that might literally just be not necessarily action, but a decision, okay? It's something along these lines. It's reaching deep within and utilizing your creative energy and inspiration to go this final step. Perhaps you could look at this month of April as a period of letting yourself be stimulated by lots of new passion, okay? I do see these cards together and I think of romance, and we'll get to those cards in a minute. So this could be simply finding out a romantic partner, seeking out a romantic partner to, bring some different energy into you, into your existence. For others, it's, watching new programs, reading new books, buying that magazine you never do because they're so expensive these days, going on a different adventure. I get new adventure with the Ace of Wands too, okay? And it's like, utilize those little extra sources to help bring this project just that to the finish line, because it's almost there. Okay. Seven of Swords, yeah, don't let any self-sabotage into this situation, okay? Don't reach for quick fixes, quick fix solutions. Always choose the solution that's going to have long-lasting results, okay? And don't listen to your self-saboteur, that inner saboteur. Use the swords and cut it down to size, right? Because I get this idea of your mind and your perspective needing to reach this strength card. I feel like I really need you guys, and I don't usually say that word need on this channel. I really need you guys to reach the top of this mountain because it's about to review something, okay? It's about to view, why do I keep saying that? It's curious. I'm getting a different message right now, okay? I'm channeling the idea of this tower, this mountain here, and this castle here, okay? This idea of reaching this peak. It's really, really important for you guys because it has something to do with a milestone. It's gonna reveal something to you. That's as much as I can get there, okay? But perhaps that idea of seeking new stimuli is because sometimes we can trap ourselves into a project and put blinders on and not necessarily see these final little glimpses of information and perspectives that could really be useful because we're so focused on the task at hand. I think April is a month where you're going to reach the top of this mountain. This project is going to reach its completion, and that is because you are able to sort of peel away those blinders and figure out some little source of inspiration, okay? I'm even seeing a little bit of divine intervention, something being sent your way, and that could literally be something as simple as your favorite program having a new season just being launched like that, or your favorite artist dropping an album out of the blue. Okay, something along those lines. But let's not forget this idea of self-sabotage and make sure that we're not reaching for quick fix solutions. And to doctor this card, I would say that baby steps are cumulative again, okay? When you feel like you can't take any more steps, just identify the next, even like general concept of a step, and then figure out how you can shape that into a decision and then make that decision. And then that is a baby step, but you're much further along than before you have that discussion with yourself. The Fool, okay, a new beginning, new energy, okay? What I'm getting is look at you reaching the top of the mountain. And again, I don't always take reversals. I think that it's just mostly telling me what is at your level of consciousness. Okay, and I'm also getting like, allow this month of April to sort of just be this idea of newness. A lesson I think you're learning is that sometimes being willing to accept fate and having a little bit of faith is not necessarily taking action, but just having that perspective. Yeah, and then I'm getting a spiritual confirmation. So it's the idea that the most important idea that's coming through is not necessarily taking gigantic action to reach the top of the mountain this month of April, pile 2. It has something to do with the mind, something to do with confidence in yourself, okay? But also the idea that sometimes just being open to having new experiences will shift your energy. The Fool doesn't necessarily mean take a step, take action. It says be open to opportunities and be open to chance, okay? Yes, there is going to be required in this month of April a measure of balance between work and play. But look, the card is upright, which to me says that, and I got that. That's why this card is in reverse. You are someone who is fully capable of balancing these energies at this time in your life. You are someone who is fully capable of juggling work and play. That's why you haven't burnt out yet. Though, for some of you, I do feel like you're kind of close. But what I'm saying is that I really believe in you, that you are about to reach the top of this mountain, okay? There does seem to be some emphasis on, in order to go the final distance, make sure that you're doctoring your body. Make sure you are making time to watch that new program. I don't know why I'm saying program. It's almost as if someone from Britain or Europe is watching this. If you are, hello. Leave me a nice confirmation comment below. But yeah, what I'm seeing is that you're someone who really does know when to take a break. And that's because it's not necessarily you being weak. It's you recognizing that in order to go the whole distance, you need to sustain your energy. Your final card, oh, I love to see that. Oh my goodness, is Judgment. Okay, wow, this is such a beautiful reading. Okay, you also have 3 major arcana cards. Love to see that. This is a crossroads, okay? This is a pinnacle moment in your life. And I think that's why I kept trying to be like, you need to reach this mountain. And that's never really a kind of line of thinking I really go on this channel. But I'm thinking it's because it is so pivotal. It is mammoth, you know, to you. That's the second time I've used that word. I think April is a pivotal moment for you. It's a turning point. It's crucial to reach the top of this mountain because you're about to see new ways of being. And I think you yourself are about to experience this period of rebirth. This angel, I think it's Gabriel, the angel of air, I think, is here to bless you, right? Whenever I get angels in the reading, you are being divinely guided right now. Yeah, and I'm even seeing divine intervention early in the month of April to help inspire you to keep going the distance. I love pile 2. You guys are great. Let's take a look before we open your oracle cards, what your little tiny message is. Yeah, it's love. I just said I love you guys. That's great. Okay, but what I'm getting is self-love, and that has something to do with the strength card, recognizing the beauty within you and this need to not be perfect at all times. That's actually the message I'm getting. Don't let perfectionism stop the flow of creativity. Okay, I'm seeing like cookie cutters at Christmas time, and you can always reshape them once you put them on the pan. You know, sometimes you press down on a cookie cutter and you sort of like wriggle it to get it out of the mold, and then it can bend. When it's baked fully, you're not going to see those tiny little imperfections. And what I'm getting is that idea with this project that you're currently working on, that you're so close to finishing, try not to let self-judgment and perfectionism ruin it and stop you from reaching all the way to the top, okay? Little self-love is certainly a measure that we're calling attention to in the month of April. Now, speaking of love, let's look first at your 2 romance cards. No way. Okay, not only do you guys have the angel and the strength card and this life purpose card with love, and you know, some people don't like the fool. I adore the fool, okay? The fool is the master of innocence. There's a quote, what is that? It's like, it's only the foolish can be wise, or something along these lines. I'm truncating that. There is a quote in there along those lines, though. You guys have soulmate and deception, okay? That's curious. Now, I'm getting sort of self-sabotage as describing this deception card, so I'm going to set you there. And I'm getting soulmate over here with yes, this is your soulmate, okay? So perhaps in an unrelated message, this is talking about those of you who are currently in love, questioning whether or not this relationship is a match for you. It is. It is. Okay? And I am very blunt when I speak because it creates the most authentic channel, which will give you accurate information. I do not enable people on this channel, okay? And I do not mean to call out other people who give more emotional readings, but I'm just saying that I feel like this is good. Again, there's that comment of I like this, which to me feels balanced and unbiased, and it's good. So it's not robbing you of energy. And I am very, again, blunt with relationship advice. I like this partner, okay? This one that you seem to be questioning. I think that perhaps that could be causing some little, inner discord, this need to sort of get your mind right. And maybe perhaps this is just a message you really needed to hear, okay? With love coming out, again, with strength, she is a blessing to me in all matters of love. Even, more than the Empress, okay? I get the Empress. She's more of like an energy. But this Strength card, you see this white wise woman with the Beauty and the Beast that you cannot separate from that card. I get soulmate, okay? I truly do. And, we all have multiple soulmates, but I like this partnership, okay? Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship, okay? I get that this is not necessarily talking about love because we have these blessings of love. This is that inner saboteur that we were talking about, okay? I think some of you are super critical, okay? You guys, you do a lot of self-judgment because you're perfectionists, and I can relate to that on a spiritual level. It's really important not to be too critical when things are taking shape. Just remember that cookie metaphor, right? When they're just taking shape, if you sort of like peek in, I'm getting like every 2 seconds, it's not going to sort of move to the finish line like you want it to, and that's going to cause like this inner discord, this disturbance of the mind, that inner saboteur. It gives him, her, they a place to speak and sort of discourage you. I don't want you guys to allow that, okay? So when this moment of judgment comes up, self-judgment, where you look, is this work going to be received well by the world? No. Erase all of that kind of thinking. Is it authentic to you? Is this authentic to you? What you've been spending so much time and energy and effort on and creativity, is it authentic to you? If it is, let it go into the world, okay? And try not to use too much perfectionism. Let's keep going. Your Oh my god, I knew I liked you guys. Ugh, you guys have the links, okay? The keeper of secrets. Interesting. So what I'm getting is sort of a very magical element, okay? Especially with the strength card, okay? I'm getting this idea of someone who is spiritually advanced, okay? Spiritually adept. And that's because you have done this for lifetimes. And I think perhaps you are here maybe even as a wanderer, okay, to help uplift humanity, okay, to share messages of love, okay? Some of you are doubting this project or this idea that you have, and or perhaps path that you want to go down because you're judging yourself from what you used to be or what your current friend circle is or family members or even society at large. I just keep wanting to say, no, shake all that off because I know you deep down know how special you are and how capable you are. You know things intrinsically. You know them without having to be self-righteous. You know secrets of the universe without having to convince yourself why. Okay, and you can just speak authentically. I think that's perhaps why I folded that message of speaking so truthfully in order to create an accurate channel for you guys. You have a deep knowing and knowledge cosmically, okay, on a very deep level. I love to see cats blessing a reading like this, especially this lynx, this keeper of secrets, okay? So the additional message seems to be you're so close to the finish line, it's not necessary to tell other friends at this time who are going to be jealous of you. Keep doing this project, keep doing this work, but in the dark. Okay, keep this a secret because I think someone outside of your romantic relationship is perhaps going to be sending negative energy because they're jealous of how far you have come. And it's important to keep this element of secrecy until the very end, until it's time to release it into the world. Such an incredible reading. Let's look at your cards. You have rain. Your earth magic is rain with purification and dance with celebration. Curious, okay? So what I'm getting is that the purification that needs to happen is perhaps any self-judgment, right? This is purification right here. The rising of the dead, and there's water all around, and they're gray. They're shedding their old skin, okay? And I'm seeing that perhaps you guys could use, what is that called? You could infuse your water with intention. Is one good way to purify yourself and to, just raise your vibration, okay, closer to love. Infuse your water with the vibration of love. I'm just also getting purification with rain is like the energy of like running out and having a kiss in the rain. So I also really do, again, I like this relationship for you guys. I see, dance with celebration as celebrating the completion of this project, okay? I'm getting this, you being able to reach the top of this mountain is going to unlock something in you, okay? You guys don't even know the potential of finishing this, okay? What that's going to do for you. It has something to do with your life path. It has something to do with unlocking incredible energy. It's dance, but with celebration, okay? And rain with purification, clean, cleansed energy, and we're dancing. It's really uplifted, okay? Because you're about to experience some magic. This month of April, I have been hearing this, feeling this. This month of April is magical. Now, let us finish up with your two spiritual cards. We've gotten quite long. Trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? And then awakening. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. Okay? What comes after judgment? The world. The world card is integration. It is because you have reached some milestone that you can now acclimate into this life and bring all those spiritual lessons and keep weaving them as you keep going towards the future. Okay, it's a really positive, celebratory message. That's why I'm seeing the world, and I'm getting the world card between judgment and this dance celebration card. Trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? That is this deception element we're bringing into your reading here. Okay, so I'm going to set this kind of here. And it is that friend, it is that inner saboteur, and we need to cut that away. We need to use the wands, curious, okay, so passion, yeah, for some of us, but we need to use the swords to cut away that self-saboteur, that little voice in your mind that is trying to keep you small and down. For others of you, it is keeping this project that's really close to your heart, nurturing it, keeping it safe, keeping it in the dark for now, okay? That doesn't mean that it is a bad thing, but this element of secrecy is coming through here, okay? I see this figure. The only color in this card is her, in this beautiful purple robe. And I kind of see that as, leading to this. So keep this project, whenever you're manifesting something, whenever you're bringing something that you have paid a lot of attention to and energy to, it's really important to make sure that there is some element of secrecy. Only share this with people you feel really close to and know who supports you unconditionally, okay? Again, this awakening card, to me, it talks about the judgment card, the soulmate card, the dance card with celebration, with awakening. You being able to reach this mountaintop, I told you, is going to release new energy, right? Unlock energy. Look, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. Okay, this is an incredible reading, pile 2. I really hope you liked it. If you'd like to purchase one of your own, you can follow the link in the description box or email me. We can set up a time and customize a reading for you. If you've made it this far into the reading, you can give me a big thumbs up. It really helps support my channel, helps it grow, but it also helps other people find these messages too. And until next time, stay divine. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading, everyone who chose the Amazonite or the red card. Now stick around to the end of your reading. We'll open up that then. And let's just go ahead and work with the tarot. So, just so you know, pile 3, I have a whole bunch of oracle cards for you, and we'll get to those after we identify what we want to talk about. So, this April for pile, okay, we'll start here. Queen of Cups. Okay, so love. Love perhaps seems to be on the mind, or perhaps I get the idea of pile 3 as being a creative person who either writes music, who sings, or who does something with emotion, okay? So you could be a counselor, you could be a therapist, a psychic, or something along these lines. I'm just getting this idea of a lot of emotion, okay? And you, pile 3, as being this Queen of Cups. Curious. Okay, so I'm going to put these kind of down as one because it already came out together in this reading. And to me, it talks about needing to recognize that your emotion is a superpower, that whatever happens to you in life, even if you are not able to control those circumstances, you always retain the power to control your emotional response. Okay, I'm getting the idea of needing to buy a sword, name it kindness, and kill people with kindness. Okay, that's the kind of energy I'm getting. I'm getting the idea of you protecting your energy and you recognizing that your emotional depth, your depth of emotions are actually a power. Okay, I see someone who's empathic and who might be met with a little bit of sharp voices or sharp-tongued people this April, okay? I'm getting the idea of you recognizing how powerful you are in some argument that might unfold or some sort of uncomfortable situation regarding a conversation, okay? I'm getting that you recognize in that moment that you have the ability to be graceful, to be calm, cool, and collected, and you're going to observe some outcome that you truly didn't expect, okay? And it's going to really turn you on to this idea of being a really balanced, grounded, empathic individual is something to celebrate, okay? I think that you guys could be highly sensitive people, and this idea of protecting your power and protecting your energy space is important, okay? So right before your reading, I almost wanted to grab the selenite by my bed. I have a huge piece of selenite. It really helps cleanse my dream state because I have prophetic dreams, and I think that you guys could have this ability too, but we also could just be talking about this need to make sure that you surround yourself with like-minded people. At least find other creatives, and then even possibly find some other psychics or a support group for highly sensitive people or empaths. It's just this idea of turning on to the ability of really protecting this energy that you guys have. Yeah, because right off the bat, I got that you are this Queen of Cups instead of this Queen coming into your life, okay? The Lovers, ooh, okay, so this is a beautiful message, okay? Now we have sort of a major arcana card coming through with passion. And to me, it's you recognizing that you have more masculine sort of doing energy within you, as well as this feminine energy being receptive and emotionally grounded. Not to say that masculines aren't emotionally ungrounded. I'm just saying what you sort of identify as more feminine energy is this more quieter, receptive, divine female energy, okay? And what I'm seeing is that you guys are kind of learning about yourself this April, okay? You're learning about what you want in a relationship. You're learning perhaps that maybe your sexuality even falls somewhere towards the middle of the spectrum, or you're at least understanding that gender, self-expression, identity, and, you know, passion, love, and romance, it's more complicated. It's more complex, right? The Lovers talks about identifying that you have, again, that masculine counterpart, feminine counterpart, but you are both of those and more. Okay, I'm seeing these birds, and you know, in the Rider-Waite deck, you have an angel Raphael above, which reminds you that you too are that angel. You're just having a human experience in the 3D. Yeah, I get that you guys are highly sensitives, okay? You might not even know this, but you could look up what a highly sensitive person is. It just means that you have sensory processing sensitivities. So you sense the light as being bright sometimes when other people are like, what? You can taste the difference between water, like I can. You're really sensitive to your environment, okay? 5 of Cups, hope, okay. So, okay, curious. I do sense some healing that could be taking place, all right? I'm also, what is this hope card about? 2 of Wands with unity. Okay, and freedom. Yeah, I'm getting the idea of needing to express yourself authentically, and that's perhaps the big message for you guys this April. I think we're almost perhaps done with the tarot. Okay, so let's finish out this idea. This idea of, you know, I think mourning the loss of some relationships because you are realizing who you are and that energy doesn't support you. It doesn't necessarily have to be relationships with people, though I think it is. I'm getting the idea of you stepping into your power and your authenticity and moving into this, you know, Queen of Cups moment, okay? Perhaps some of you are psychic and you're experiencing anxiety that's coming through and fears, and it's simply, you know, a psychic, Tyler Henry, he wrote about this in one of his books and I loved it. A lot of anxiety that seems to be coming from nowhere is actually intuition coming in that lacks a channel, okay? So some of you, perhaps just one even, is psychic and perhaps even a medium, but what I'm getting more is just, you know, you are really intuitive and psychic and in tune with your feelings, and make sure that this is something that you are aware of so that it doesn't hurt you. Right? As soon as you know, this is an important message for empaths and highly sensitives. As soon as you realize your sensitivities are actually really powerful and they give you an edge, as soon as you can realize that and find a way to protect yourself, find a way to protect your energy, you're going to be able to operate and maneuver the world a lot more easily, more fluidly, okay? 5 of Cups says turning away from what we've been mourning to celebrate what we have behind us, which are 2 cups, right? I love that the 2 of Wands came out. So there is still an element of freedom, right? There's still an element of choice. There's still an element of hope. Okay, it's a really powerful message of hope. I also sense that in the month of April, piled 3 could focus a lot of attention perhaps on, you know, building a relationship with yourself, okay, because that's what I see the strongest with the Lovers, okay? But remember, this 5 of Cups, what you have been sort of sad about, what's been taking your energy, what you've been mourning the loss of, what has come to pass has already passed and it can never be again. And if we could just turn around, we would observe 2 more cups, okay? I get that you guys want some element of freedom in your life, okay? Now, before we do the other cards, let's take a look at your little tiny message. Ooh, it's build it. Curious. Okay. We did have that message a couple seconds ago about building a relationship with yourself. Okay. Build it is also, it's quite blunt. It's build it with a period. Just do it. Okay. Take the steps. I'm getting a proactive approach. I'm getting an emphasis on describing what you want your life to look like, describing where you want to go next, and starting to take the steps necessary. Yeah, I'm seeing these steps as, what is that called? Stepping stones, right? So even if this dream is large, even if where you want to go is so far away and you have no clue how to get there, you just have this idea, this inspiration, this passion to go after it, take little baby steps because they're cumulative, one at a time. Just simply identify the next possible step. I apologize, pile 3. I don't know why my phone does this sometimes. You'll notice a difference in audio. I don't know. So I'll press record, recognize that it's recording, and then I'll look back a couple minutes later, and for some reason it decided to stop recording. So, ready to move on. Let's take a look at your romance card. You guys have the Queen of Cups. You guys have the Lovers. And so let's take a look at this first card. Release your ex. Okay. The time has come to clear your energy. Okay, so that's relatively synchronistic, okay? That's kind of remarkable. You also have romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Wow. Ooh, okay, I got some shivers there. I think I'm hitting the nail on the head regarding sexuality and fluidity being something important for someone here, okay? But I also got that idea of mourning the loss of something, okay? And I think that you guys are bound to the feelings and dreams that you had built together with your ex, and you need to release this relationship. There's something that we're mourning the loss of, and we have to let that go because it's affecting our psyche, okay? And I think that you guys want to unfold into something bigger. You want to unfurl your wings and spread out, but we have to be able to mourn the loss of this thing, okay? So yeah, the idea of selenite and needing to cleanse yourself is really important. You guys could look up a cord cutting ceremony if you really want to use a practical way of looking at this being released. You also, I like to see you writing a letter to this person and burning it. That's what's going on right here, okay? I'm also, we got that idea of angel Raphael before. We're seeing angel wings here, and then the moon. I feel like you guys are stuck in a cycle of, getting close to releasing them, and then you're just, you fall back into the feelings all over again, okay? But I also think that they were not an energetic match for you because you're a little bit more complex, right? You have an emotional depth that perhaps doesn't really stick in barriers or between borders. There's this idea of fluidity and spreading out and having some element of freedom in your life that's necessary right now, okay? Release your ex. It has time to come to clear your energy. That's literally what selenite does. You also could, use sage to cleanse your energy. Now, April is the new moon, okay? Now, I got that idea of taking a practical approach and using magic like a cord cutting ceremony to be able to release this partner, okay? You also could grow love. You could plant seeds of intention, and that's what we do with the new moon. Whenever it is the new moon, it reminds me of black, fertile soil, okay? Potential, spring before the bulbs emerge, okay? Use this month, perhaps this new moon, April 1st, to plant seeds of intention for what you want to build and where you want to go next, okay? This romantic feelings card, your feelings are real and worth exploring, okay? I think that for some of you, it doesn't necessarily have to be doing with identity, sexuality, self-expression, gender, identity again. It could also just be that there is someone moving through, but there's someone that you need to cut away first in order for this person to step out of the shadows. I think they see you. They know that you're single. They like you. They want to talk to you, but there's some element where they see you might actually sort of emit this kind of energy that makes them think that you're stuck on their ex, something along these lines, okay? But what I'm also getting is the depth of your feelings are important, okay? They're real and worth exploring, and that's a message for extra sensitives in here who perhaps aren't conscious of that at this time. Let's look at your animal medicine card. Ooh, the fox. Foxy, spicy. Oh, curious. Okay. So the fox, it can talk about stealth, okay, and sneakiness. Curious, okay, but I'm also getting to use that to your advantage. I'm recognizing that this is a fennec fox, and to me, fennec foxes are a little bit more... they're more feminine. I get a more feminine energy than your average red-tailed fox or red fox, sorry, red-tailed fox. So I'm getting sort of just an emphasis on sensing. Okay, but there's also something about your voice we're calling attention to that's really hauntingly beautiful. Some of you are interested in singing, okay, and I think that you could write this down. Write down your feelings, right? You know, sometimes it's so important when we're making decisions about where to go next or trying to fully digest something. When you write down what you're feeling, you give yourself a space in your mind to digest this, and you give yourselves room for new ideas to surface, because there's something to do with using the mind, which is intangible, and then writing, like literally writing on a piece of paper. The connection between the intangible and the tangible creates a channel. We were talking about a channel earlier, and that allows intuition and information to flow through, which will help you reach a different perspective about this, okay? This is different for everyone. This Queen of Cups mourning the loss and sensing her empathic potential, okay? With the fox, it says, I'm getting the idea of, I'm sorry to say this, a little bit of deception, okay? I think foxes are extremely cunning, okay? And as much as we try to avoid our emotions, we can't outthink them, okay? It's important to really feel them, to really digest them, okay? And I think that's the message for the fox. I also really want pile 3 to, on their own, look up what the fox means, okay? And everyone is going to come and reach a different understanding and interpretation of fox. Just make sure that it is something that you relate to. I think this fox has an additional message for you. It comes from you looking and seeking out that information. Now let's look at your earth magic. You have what? Oh my god, I love to see this. Okay, you have rebirth too. Okay, yeah, there's something with nature. But first, literally, what was I talking about? You guys have ceremony with evocation, and we have this figure here who's utilizing a crystal grid. I see the smoke tendrils again right here. I see her aura. Some of you really are psychic, okay? One of you in here, potentially, maybe one or more, but I'm getting this magical guide. Oh, okay, I was saying vibe in my mind, but guide came out. And because I kept calling attention to angels, I think you could utilize your guides at this time to help you, create... Okay, no, the message, sorry, pile 3, the message is create a language with your guides. Okay? And some of you could channel your guides right now by simply pricking that vein and letting this emotion out. Okay? Ew. Sorry, I don't mean to that probably painted a really gruesome picture. I definitely did not mean to insinuate cutting or anything like that. It was a really romantic prose way of saying, channeling your writing your feelings down. Okay, I hope I didn't disturb anyone with that. I kind of freaked myself out. But it is a romantic, I write poetry, I write songs myself. I talk about pricking the vein because it feels like, that is how your emotions come out in a romantic sense, okay? But what I was trying to highlight earlier was that I think that you guys are channeling something. Channeling your guides, okay? In order to move forward into an area of your life that has something to do with freedom and self-expression and authenticity and unfolding, spreading your wings is what I was talking about, okay? But also, I am really drawn to this card. I was talking a lot about magic and using practical forms to help you draw the intangible down on paper. It's really helpful. So a cord cutting ceremony really helps you release someone because you see the fire burn the string and it splits, and then you can watch the candles burn down. When you write a letter to this person, write down your feelings and burn it, you can release those feelings. You feel it in your stomach almost, okay? There's this idea of working tangibly with magic to help you transmute something in the month of April. Now, spring equinox with rebirth. Very, very beautiful Mother Gaia energy, okay? And she looks really protective to me, okay? The rabbit seems to be talking about fertility, okay? And abundance, okay? And calling out your fears whenever you see them so that you can integrate an idea about, not needing to be led by fears. recognizing their worth, but not letting them overpower you. Okay, this is a really beautiful card. I see healing again with rebirth because I look at this figure as the essence of Earth, which is Gaia, okay, Mother Earth, and I see utilizing nature in this magic. Okay, I'm getting the idea that maybe even pile 3 is not a stranger to magic, okay, and to utilizing witchcraft, okay, invocations. I'm getting chanting, okay. There is something to do with your throat chakra. I think that some of you kind of, I think that this relationship you had was, it kind of blocked your voice because, yeah, I get this idea of you being so much more deep, right? I get this idea of someone who is a lot bigger and grander than they've ever expressed before, but they were in a relationship that was limiting. And for others of you, how you used to think of yourself is a lot smaller than the fullness to your extent of your being, okay? Rebirth says an emphasis on cleansing and clearing your energy, right? Remember this card? The time has come to clear your energy is the message on this card, in addition to release your ex, but we're talking about your energy. And early on in your reading, we were talking about protecting it. Okay, so when an empath recognizes their sensitivities and they can protect themselves, they're no longer drawn down by people they interact with. They can protect themselves. There are many ways I use black tourmaline. Okay, now let's take a look at your final cards. These are spiritual cards. The Great Gathering, it's all coming together. Intuitive hits, Soul Tribe. Okay, intuitive hits. Okay, I get that you guys can channel, okay? And remember I said early on in your reading and from Tyler Henry, anxiety can come in. You know, when you are not really able to identify where it's coming from, that's intuition coming through in a person who lacks the channel, right? So that idea of creating a language with your spirit guides that I try to bring through, I know I'm bringing through many messages, is important. Develop a language with your spirit guides, okay? And people say that all the time, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a practical way of looking at that. I use airplanes to communicate with me, and here's the thing that I feel like the interwebs don't tell you. The sign comes in when you're thinking about something. Yes, you can see an airplane in the sky and be like, oh, it's a message from my guides. It's not really like that. It's when you're having this moment of talking in your head and then you see the airplane, that's when you're confirming that you're on path. I literally just heard an airplane start to cross overhead. Okay, that's it's an important message, and it's one that I feel like isn't shared enough, and it really confused me in my beginning when I was turning on to my psychic ability. Yeah, someone in here, you should book a personal reading. It doesn't have to be with me, but if you'd like to, I have a link below, okay? But I'm getting the idea of someone who does have this ability to channel, okay? Because you have intuitive hits. Okay, and I'm getting this communication here, and I'm just getting this strong idea that you guys need to build this channel, build this relationship with your spiritual team if you want to take your gifts to the next level. Your final spiritual card is I can't make this up, Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic Teacher. Yes. With Rebirth, I'm not surprised. With the lovers and romantic feelings, this idea of duality and sexuality not being yours is not one or the other. I don't think that you are. There's nothing against that. I'm gay, in case I just started to offend someone. But you are this sisterhood too, and Great Gathering, Soul Tribe. I think that you guys, could call together. That message early on was create a network of extrasensitives, reach out to another psychic. There's something to do with you not needing to be alone right now, because I think in your former relationship, you were meant to feel smaller, and you were made, to feel smaller than you are, and you were just not simply aware of your extra sensitivities. Okay, that's the strong message that seems to be coming through. I think this is more of a spiritual read, but I'm getting you guys, you have real gifts. You may have even seen some incredible synchronicities in your life that you can't explain away, and that's meant to sort of turn you on, okay? I think that beauty and devotion with romantic feelings and the lovers is talking about this emotional depth that you have, and it's beautiful. Something that you need to turn on to is that idea that your extrasensitivities are actually a power. Priestess, mystic, teacher. You have the invocation card. You have Mother Gaia here, okay? You even have the cunning fox too, which is very cunning and mystical, okay? I think that these are confirmations for pile 3. I think that these are things that are interesting to you, and if they are and you're resonating with the reading so far, you should explore them. Okay, because I think that you have an ability here. Someone here really can channel divine messages. Okay, I even placed a ceremony card over the swords, which talk about communication. Okay, and we have those ideas of creating this channel. Okay, look at even this aura around here. It's really similar to the Lovers card and this sort of aura that's going on right there. Okay, and I keep bringing this message up. It's really important for someone here. Okay, perhaps even to all of you. Now, this is the end of your reading. I just messed up all your cards. I really hope that you liked it. If you did, you can leave me a big thumbs up. Leave me a big thumbs up if you made it this far into the video. It helps other people find these messages. It helps my channel grow. If you'd like to continue this reading or book a personal one of your own, you can purchase one at the link in my description box or email me and we can customize one for you. And until next time, stay divine. Hello Pile 4, welcome to your reading. Everyone who chose the Tiger's Eye or the blue card, stay around to the end of your reading and we'll open that. But let's go ahead and start off with some tarot. And just so you know, Pile 4, I have a whole bunch of oracle cards that I've drawn for you. And we'll look at those just as soon as we figure out what we seem to want to be talking about for your April prediction. Okay, so for pile, let's take these top 2, and I'm going to start with you. Okay, so the necessity to set some realistic barriers and borders in your life. What am I trying to say? Set some boundaries. There we go. Okay, so I see you guys, 9, successfully setting some boundaries, but I also see you guys kind of being through some challenging energy recently, okay, but emerging victorious, okay? We see this figure here who has 1, 8, and then the one he's holding, 9 wands, okay? Looking rather curious. To me, he looks very different than all of the other cards in the deck. He's very confident in a very different way. You know, I was thinking about this card not too long ago, and I was trying to describe to myself the way he's looking. He's not necessarily weary. He's just very strong, very husky. He's a very capable figure, but he has been through a lot of trials recently, okay? Potentially regarding passion or his will, but he has emerged victorious. He's almost sort of like looking over his shoulder like the David statue. That's what I'm seeing, David and Goliath, that story talks about. Slingshotting, I could even see that blindfold, I suppose, being a slingshot. Slingshotting the beast between the eyes with a rock. So definitely going up against a lot of odds, but emerging victorious. Love to see this card. Okay, so what are we setting boundaries for? What have we been through potentially? Okay, a lot of hard work, okay? Curious. Drawing a lot of attention to detail right now, okay? And it seems like pile... Wow, April could be, I'm looking a little bit too far, I think, in the future. April could be a period of rest and recovery because I think right now you guys seem to have really been working really hard, okay? I think that things and circumstances in your life seem to be drawing a lot of your energy, okay? Taking a lot of your time, and I see you building some sort of skill set. Ooh, okay, yes. So I do see at the heart of your reading now, this is the Empress. She is asking me to say, where in your life, Pile 4, do you need to pour a little bit of nurturing, mothering energy in, okay? Are you perhaps interested in love? What are you curious about nurturing and helping bloom at this time? What is this passion project of yours, pile 4. I keep wanting to say pile 3. If you guys are interested in pile 3, hey, maybe one or two of you here could check pile 3 out as well. But what I'm getting is kind of a blessing of abundance, right? You have gone through this incredible period of a lot of work, okay? Built up a lot of skills and power and reserve and energy. And all of that has been invested in something that I see taking form, taking shape, becoming ripe. So there's always the assumption that this Empress is pregnant, and that talks about bringing some sort of creativity into being. It doesn't necessarily mean pregnancy, though some of you, this could be a confirmation for you, so kudos to you, but I am seeing you bringing something regardless of whether or not you can bear a child. This is bearing fruit of your labor, okay? We also have the Two of Wands in reverse, which to me is sensing where you want to go next, okay? And I think that perhaps this talent of yours, it could be hidden. This passion project, there's some element of freedom and sensing where you're going next being under the surface and not recognized at this time, okay? I'm getting the idea of needing to pick one. Okay, and it's almost like this trusty one. I can imagine that this figure here has used that baton, has used that wand throughout this whole period of his life so far. And here we see this figure grabbing hold of this one wand as he's reaching for where he wants to go. And to me, that's talking about taking this passion project into the next phase, right? I see the world as a completion, and I see that as kind of commenting on the fact that this figure is pregnant and they're holding it in their hands, but there's still work to be done because it is in reverse. Okay, so it's almost like the future you're envisioning for yourself is just coming into being, okay? Ooh, yes, because I see you guys, you know, your energy is about something slightly younger. Okay, I think that you guys could be younger. I think that you guys could be younger than 30. And I'm getting more of an idea of someone who is building something. Okay, now I'm also getting this Page of Wands as being a messenger regarding potentially a love interest. Okay, well, we have the Empress here, and I have some romance cards, and actually you're the one pile who had 3, so we'll take a look at those and discover those in a second. But what I'm seeing is you bringing life into the desert. I always think of that when I see these pages, or this Page of Wands, and even, you know, sometimes the Knight of Wands, okay? So we look and there's nothing here, seemingly, but there are 3 pyramids. And to me, the pyramids talk about sacred hidden knowledge, okay? And if you look, his staff actually has life. So he is able to bring passions into the desert, into the void, and seed new life, okay? And it's from the selection of one, okay? There has something to do with winnowing. Oh, I was getting that with the separating the wheat from the chaff. That's crazy. Cool. Sensing some sort of project, some sort of passion that's like by the wayside. Okay, so when this 8 of Pentacles is in or upright position, you see this person diligently working on the fine details and, you know, discarded to the side because it's already been completed. This pentacle here, he's not taking any notice of it, okay? And it's almost like there is this little element of intrigue with your reading, okay? And perhaps this is calling for you to have a little bit of self-confidence. I see a lot of yellow in your reading, okay? Needing to have confidence in this self that you're becoming, okay? Confidence in the project that you're putting so much work into. And I think that April could be this period of just continuing to nurture it, okay? I'm getting the idea of needing to bring the seed into life, okay? Now, I am most excited to garden after this reading, and I'm getting that idea of bringing life into where something is barren, and it's like taking this experience and putting it into this new seed. I'm just seeing seed here, lots of seeds here. I'm looking at the world as one giant seed and you planting it here, but not being necessarily very experienced in where this is, right? That pentacle that's left on the wayside there, kind of almost forgotten about. Perhaps a passion or a talent of yours that you discovered in the past. Yeah, my throat closed, so I think that's significant. This is something that you kind of dropped a while ago, okay? And it's collecting dust, and I almost see you trying to use this lesson here and to help that experience passion and drive and newfound confidence, and using that to help make this project flourish, bring this seed to life. Okay, this Page of Wands, I think that perhaps some of you could be working in fashion. This is my Master of Arts card. This figure is wearing a particularly auspicious gown, and I see this figure as just being very, very fashionable. Okay, so to me that talks about creativity and maybe even seeking some sort of young opinion if you are not identifying as this younger figure. Because this Page of Wands, they're very inspirational. And I think that they're going to help you if you are not identifying as this Page of Wands. They're going to move into your life. They're younger than you, and they have some inspiring information to share with you, right? It's almost like, I was talking to Pile 1 because they had the 10 of Wands, and they actually had the more positive meaning of the card. Theirs was that they're almost there. I'm getting that there's this ingredient. There's this link that you sort of have to discover. Okay, even here with this 2 of Wands, he's holding this wand right here and moving forward, but behind him is another wand. To me, it's just as tall. And it actually, it's just as fruitful. It's got 3 little blossoms coming off it too. And it's almost like there's something else we have to grab a hold of, okay? There's something else we need to pull forward from the past in order to help make this fruitful, whatever direction we seem to be going in. Okay, yeah, okay, so 8 of Cups, curious. Another 8 in your reading to me talks about really mastering something. And here I'm looking at this moon who has a sort of similar energy in the facial expression as this Knight of Wands, which to me is a curious energy. This moon and figure is, kind of looking a little snooty, but it's with confidence. Yellow is the color of self-awareness and confidence of the self. And I'm getting that perhaps some way of being, maybe even a relationship, needs to be left in the past where you're going next. You can't carry it with you. That's the message that's coming through. This is a very, very interesting tarot. And I didn't do this for any of the other readings because it would be so many cards, but I am going to draw perhaps just a couple cards. You keep coming out, and I don't know why. Okay, this 5 of Cups, it's just bizarre at this point. It comes out almost every single reading for the last month. And to me, it's a turning point. Okay, it's the need to recognize that we have spent a lot of time mourning our losses, and it's time to let them go because we have to bring in something else. Okay, it's the imagery of turning around and recognizing that behind us there are still opportunities. All hope has not been lost. Okay, it's I'm just very weird, you guys. This 5 of Cups, I'm gonna have to saturate it in sage. I guess I've just been saying that, but I haven't done it. I'm gonna saturate this card because it just keeps coming out. But I think that perhaps there is this element of turning point. Okay, it's like you've been pushing so hard to bring this into being, perhaps a little too hard. And right now in April, we really want you to focus on nourishing yourself and nurturing the body and mothering yourself and becoming more of an attraction for the future that you desire, okay? And it's gonna require leaving behind some elements and incorporating some fresh newness, okay? Some new passion, some new energy, recognizing when that comes in and utilizing it before it escapes you, okay? And then letting some things go, okay? Closing some doors and celebrating that so that you can look forward to this new future, towards this new beginning, okay? I was also, just reminded that April 1st is a new moon, and this is your April prediction. We kept talking about seeds. So the new moon is the time where you plant seeds of intention. Okay, so I want to ask pile 4 to just take a couple seconds to think about what you want to build, what you seem to be trying so hard to bring in. And I think that you guys could truly, what you do is you take some seeds. Actually, I really am going to be doing some gardening after this, so I have some seeds handy. You literally take your seeds in your hand and charge them with an intention, okay? I'm getting this idea of quite literally taking this magical practice seriously. So you take these seeds and you hold them in your hand and you hold them to your heart and you think about this project that you want to do, okay? This aspect that you want to bring into being, okay? This even could literally be self-confidence. And you put that intention into these seeds and you hold it. And you visualize very strongly what you would like to bring into being for 10 seconds. And then you plant them in the soil, and then every single day, every time you water them with that intention of this coming into fruition, okay? That's what I'm getting for you guys. I'm going to, what were these? I'm just curious. These are cantaloupe. A nice large orb, something to do with seeds. Honestly, some of you really truly could be trying to get pregnant. Now, let's keep going and take a look at your romance cards. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's start here. My favorite card in this deck, Free Yourself. It's time to take control back of your life. I think you've been working really hard at something, and I don't know if it's coming into fruition. I can't say that for you, but I'm sensing something along, needing to get out, right? I think it's like you've boxed yourself in. Remember, the first message was setting realistic barriers. And I think this has to do with your work-life balance, okay? And needing to perhaps step outside. And that was that element of freedom. Remember, I said freedom when this card first came out. It's important for you. And I think going somewhere new is going to help inspire you in April, okay? So make time to travel somewhere new. It doesn't have to be super, super far away, but if you're used to hiking in the same place every day, try to look somewhere else. Try to go somewhere else. Because I see you as this unicorn and as this empress, actually. I'm getting a really sort of magical vibe from you guys. It has something to do with the idea of creation, okay? I think the majority of people who chose this pile really associate themselves with a female gender, but again, you don't really have to be rigid in that idea on this channel. We accept everything here. But what I'm sensing is like this idea of fertility and abundance and potential and a seed of life, okay? And I'm sensing that you've been working so hard defending yourself or defending some project. It's almost like you've boxed yourself in and there's not enough room for this to flourish. That's so crazy. I just realized we were talking about seeds and flowering this whole time, and this card is the only one that's completely resplendent. It has all of these. It's not going to focus. That's okay. It has all of these wildflowers, and it's in the entire scene. So something is coming into being, something that's been really, really sort of tried lately, right? I'm getting the idea of just like attack after attack, or like one thing after another, just like constantly coming at you, has really affected your fertility, perhaps even, okay? Now we also have, it's safe for you to love, open your heart and receive the highest energy of all, and then forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment, okay? And so what I'm getting is kind of, this Five of Cups energy. I guess that makes a little sense now. I think that pile 4 could be needing to forgive someone in their life, right? That's the energy of leaving some relationships behind, like we were talking about, okay? And it's necessary to forgive them and to learn from them and to just let that drop away. I'm getting the idea that you keep trying to bring them with you and hoping that they're going to change, but I don't necessarily think that they are. And one of the lessons I see for you is being able to let things go in order to make room for new growth, okay? Now let's see what animal medicine card you're dealing with this month. Oh, okay, so 44 could be a really significant number for you. The hummingbird is representative of joy, okay? But also love and In Native American lore, hummingbird wings or feathers were used as charms and amulet to attract love. Okay, and there's something to do with joy and needing to really, okay, yeah, now I'm getting it. You guys really need to step out of the office. You need to cleanse your home. You need to cleanse your work environment because something is stuck there. Something is stifling. Hummingbird talks about joy and love and really, really uplifting your energy, okay? It talks about a person who is also extra sensitive and very sensitive to their environment, okay? And who will fly away whenever there is discord, okay? And you cannot trap a hummingbird. If you try to keep a hummingbird in a cage, it dies very, very soon, okay? And it's the idea of needing to allow some room for growth, okay? Yeah, there has something to do with either you being stuck in a job that's not your favorite, pouring too much energy into a job, or needing to sort of leave behind a friendship or a relationship with a family member, okay? I also think that pile 4 could really benefit from researching the hummingbird and seeing what that means to you, okay? Now let's move forward and take a look at your Earth Magic cards. And you guys have Lake with Stillness. That is such a beautiful photo or illustration. And then Iceberg with Submerged. Okay, curious. So stillness, right? This moment, yes, and submerged. I knew something was hidden, okay? This pentacle that's dropped by the wayside, it represents a talent of yours. It represents a dream of yours. It represents something you had put a lot of work into at one time and for some reason just set it down, right? I think you set it down too early before it had a chance to bloom, okay? But this lake and stillness is a moment of reprieve. I got that, you know, this is a moment of healing in April, a time of stillness, okay? So that I think you can balance the energy that you had been utilizing at the beginning of this year so that you can move the remainder of the year into a new sort of more sustainable place, right? We kind of want to be in a place of harmony, okay? Because hummingbirds, they also talk about harmony too. And I'm getting that what you put your energy into needs to be something that's close to your heart, okay? Now, Iceberg was submerged, okay? In the stillness here, I'm getting, you know, something needs to thaw out, okay? And that makes a lot of sense because someone in here is truly trapped in a relationship or trapped in, that doesn't necessarily have to be romance. It could be with a family member, okay? And they're hardening you. That relationship that you keep holding on to because you think that means loyalty, it doesn't. You're supposed to grow and outgrow certain relationships. That talks about someone who is developed as a spiritual person, okay? And we try to hold on to them because we think we're being loyal, but the reality is it's harming us, okay? And something needs to thaw out. There's such a huge difference here. It's ice cold and almost a barrier, right? And over here with the stillness, it's all thought out and it's very, very, very beautiful and very, very creative, okay? I'm seeing this person who sort of needs to really set realistic boundaries with people and relationships in their life. And again, relationships can be with a person, but it also can be with work, your relationship to being a workaholic, and your relationship to yourself, okay? Curious. Now, you guys are also the only pile who had 3 spiritual cards. So we'll take a look at these together. Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, Helpers in Subtle Realms, Birthing a New Age, Birthing New Creation. That's amazing. Birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. I knew there was something to do with like birthing or like pregnancy or something. And then Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. That's beautiful. Let's kind of see if that can go there, and maybe here. Kind of looks a little messy. We'll go with it. Okay, so Divine Orchestration, Helpers in the Subtle Realms, to me talks about having some sort of assistance, okay? Some sort of person coming through. I think it's this figure here. They're younger than you. They have a childlike energy. They just have a lot of passion, okay? They may never bring projects fully through, but they're definitely able to inspire you, okay? I'm getting that there are figures on your spiritual team who are helping you learn these lessons right now in the month of April, okay? And I think there's going to be some synchronicities. That's why we have divine orchestration, and they're going to help you sort of figure out how to pick up that pentacle, right? I just keep looking back there, okay? Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being, okay? There's something under the surface here. There's some element that hasn't been brought to light. Let's look at your little card. Believe it. Wow. Okay. Okay. So to me, this talks about that self-confidence that we were talking about, okay? And belief in this project, okay? There are two main energies here, especially, you have divine orchestration and your guidance is divinely guided. You guys are receiving assistance in the month of April, or you're especially close to your spirit guides at this time, okay? And what I was getting though with Believe It is that there is this need to celebrate yourself, okay? To spend a lot of time healing yourself so that you feel fertile, so that you feel like you are really this HBIC, that you really are creative and capable of bringing this project into full circle and going into new places, okay? And discovering what seems to be hidden under the surface, okay? You have to believe it. There's this idea of that visualization, right? When you take those seeds and you hold them in your hand, and those are representing what you are bringing in, it's within a month, right? It's before the next full moon, or actually, sorry, at the full moon, which again is completion. Talking about cycles and pregnancy. Anyways, you put that into your hands, those seeds, and you believe it. You have to feel it. And you will know you believe it when you feel it in your stomach, okay? That's your energy center, your solar plexus chakra, and also sacral. You will feel it in your stomach when you know that it has worked. When you can believe it and visualize it and see it, but also feel it, you will feel it in your stomach. I just keep wanting to tell you that. That's when you know that you really have imbued those seeds with the intention, okay? And then plant them and they will grow, okay? So this is the end of your reading, Pile 4. I'm sorry it went a little long, but I really hope that you liked it. If you'd like to purchase one of your own, you can email me or follow the link in my description box. If you've made it this far into the video, you can give me a big thumbs up. It really helps support my channel, but it also helps other people receive these messages too. And until next time, stay divine.